Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is that you guys have quite a bit of swords energy here, here, and here, and there's not very many good sword cards that I care for. And you guys have some of my least favorites, at least the 10 and 3 aren't here. But you got the deceptive energy. The 5 and the 7 are near each other, and these are, cards of hidden agendas, of potentially secrets, of doing something beneath the surface, not really knowing what's going on, much like he's walking through some sort of fog. It's cloudy. It's a suspicious atmosphere here that you could feel surrounded by. The main card here is the Seven of Swords, a card of deceit as well. You have a relationship between two people while someone is not at all aware of it. And it's going on behind the scenes. Now, this could be about a relationship for you, but it could also be about anything. Something, again, going behind the scenes, being your focus. And this is either something that you're just a part of, or you're trying to figure out. Maybe you have that suspicious energy on your end and you're trying to see what really is going on, but having trouble doing so. Otherwise, you could be involved in something that is turning out to just be very, very, I don't want to say mixed, but it's shady, I guess, basically. There's that shady energy to it. And then on the love side, the Eight of Swords comes through as well. So just had to point that out first. I don't like that, but I do hope that the week, of course, ends up well. Your outcome cards are actually nice. We'll get to the Devil, but on the general side, we have the Fool, that 5 of Swords, and the 3 of Chalices. So despite the fact that something, again, as I said, is unclear here with the 5 of Swords, there is the intention here of taking a chance. Now, you could be deciding to take a chance despite the risks involved. Like, you don't know what's going to happen, and you know that it could turn out any way. But in doing so, we do have, and I want to acknowledge, of course, the outcome card being the 3 of Cups. There's a celebration here. It feels as though, despite the fact that there is some potential shadiness attached there, or just that lack of clarity where it's like, shit, if this ends badly, this could be really bad. And that could be a question in the back of your mind. But we have something to celebrate by the end of the week, and you're happy with these situations, so it appears. You're with other people, you're having fun, you're drinking, talking, whatever the case may be. So the carefree energy comes through in the outcome. Now, if we jump to love, we have Judgment and the 8 of Swords with the Devil card as the outcome. And here we have Judgment potentially bringing something into light that makes you feel a bit uneasy. It makes you feel like you maybe need some support to deal with it, but there could be also such a heavy attraction, especially sexually. I mean, look at these two intertwined. Yes, their connection may hurt in some way, but it's extremely passionate. So somehow there's a tie here with you potentially having a very passionate situation with a partner, with a love interest, an addiction maybe even to that person, having them around. And if they're not, you could be feeling sick over their lack of presence because you're just so used to them and you really love having them around. Or again, you've heard something about them, heard something from them that makes you uneasy. But even still, the connection is there. Some of you, because we have the secretive energy, could be engaging in some sort of affair type thing. Something secretive, again, happening behind the scenes. It makes you really nervous, but at just the same time, the connection, especially sexually, the chemistry is really, really strong. So let's get some clarification cards. Can you clarify the 7 of Swords? Now, with the 8 of Pentacles there could be some determination in finding out what's going on. Some of you as well, where affairs are a possibility, could be engaging with someone on the job, at work. That could be part of why it's hidden, for instance. You could also be trying to work hard on a relationship or a situation where there has been manipulation, deceit at the core, and trying to work through those issues. Some of you may be suspicious about your coworkers, or just not feeling like there's something going on behind the scenes at your job. General side. Got Death as the clarification card. Well, death does bring change and a resolution of some kind. So let me see. What is the It's definitely bringing a transition. So you're moving on from a stage. Maybe again, you had this energy where you didn't know what was happening. You decided to take a risk and it turned out for the positive. That's how I'm going to choose to see it. It allows you to transition to an easier time and enjoy yourself. In some cases, you could be actually leaving some physical location behind for something new and celebrating before you like take off with friends, things like that could be happening. Could just be a trip as well. Three of Cups. Well, one particular person stands out, the King of Pentacles, someone that is worth trusting. It's a confidant. It's an energy you like to be around. Some of you could be celebrating a new job or career that's leading you elsewhere, maybe at a distance, or maybe onwards to the next stage in your life. So just a new position for you, new status. This could, let's see, actually, let me get one for the Fool. Okay, we have the King of Cups. That could be taking an emotional risk for some. This could also be an energy of a person who is supportive of you. And let me see one more for the Three of Cups. Like someone that could be allowing you through their support to take a chance. Maybe they're helping you financially for some reason. And that allows you to transition. Maybe they're helping pass along good word of mouth, for instance. That's yet another possibility. The Page of Pentacles there, it could be news or information that comes through. This could also be feeling like you've been shortchanged in a job or with money. That could be the thing that's inspiring you to take a different direction for some. The Knight of Swords, I do feel like things are happening quickly. And again, there's communication here. You're going straight to the point. I feel as though you're being very open about what's going on, especially for those of you that may be leaving, and that involves, you know, telling friends or family that you're going elsewhere. It may not be happening this week where you leave, but this is more like the announcement period. And things are turning out to be very emotionally balanced. Now that could also represent that drinking and having a good time with Temperance and the Three of Cups there. All right, so let me get an extra card, sorry, clarification for the love side. No. And the Five of Swords, okay. Here it is again, that hidden relationship, hidden feelings, things not being brought up to the surface, seeing and making sure that other people are not aware of what's going on. That, of course, could be you feeling like you're not aware of what's going on and wanting that to come into light with the Sun here. This could also be a situation that makes you happy. Again, we have quite a bit of fire energy. So you could be having quite the passionate connection with someone behind the scenes, or be suspicious of that happening behind the scenes in your relationship, like your partner with another person. What's causing you the Eight of Swords? Family, finances could be causing the Eight of Swords. Maybe for those of you that are concerned about your family breaking up, for instance, that could just be something that's making you feel very ill and uncomfortable at this time. If it's a workplace affair thing that maybe you're engaged in, then there's a possibility that that causes you stress of being found out and then having to deal with HR. That could be a thing that comes to your mind as well. This could be how your family may react again if something comes into circle. This could involve a person who is part of your past and you have friends and family that have opinions about this person. Now, if you're not involved in that affair yourself, of course, this could be your partner, that you are suspicious that they are reconnecting with someone, and maybe this isn't a new thing for you. Some of you, let's see. Oh. Okay. I don't know why with that combination I'm getting that someone may strongly disapprove of a connection, someone who has a great influence in your world, and it's not that their influence is necessarily going to push you in one direction when it comes to this partnership, but I feel like that could be the case. Now, in other cases, we have some sort of painful incident that's happened, having to potentially cut the cord with a potential love interest or a partner. Maybe... So weird. Let me get the Devil here. Some of you could be dealing again with a partnership that ended very coldly. It may have even been abrupt, and there is stress over maybe reconnecting with that person. Maybe you're meeting up for some reason to discuss things, but this is not being shared with others because they would not approve of you communicating with this person. Again, that's another story that I'm getting. There is some sort of hope though tied to like sleeping with them or becoming reattached to them, reconnecting with them. And that could be them towards you as well. You may be expected to make a choice, or they are, and there's the hope and fantasy that it will turn out a certain way. Knight of Cups is your focus, and this could be a romantic offer, an expression of love, either from your end or someone else's. This could be creation, creativity as your center. Now, I also see this person in this card in a very like wistful, dreamy state. Almost, I see him as enamored with this cup that's there for him. Or her, of course. So you may feel that way about something where you're totally in love with the idea or even a person or something that's come your way, and you're feeling all those emotions. Now, with that as your focus though, we do have some interesting energy on the General, the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Hermit. Not a lot going on, at least in terms of the physical. I see quite a bit mentally happening here, lots to think about. You could have someone who is taking up quite a bit of headspace, and this person is driving you crazy, potentially, with the Nine of Swords and the Queen of Swords. And this Queen almost looks malicious. Not that she has to be at all, but it feels as though being around this person stresses you out. You don't like their energy. Maybe they give you drama or something that you just kind of like wish you could avoid them. And here is the Hermit as the outcome card, which is pulling away for me. With this energy here, it's like pulling away, especially from this person who I think is taking a dominant role in the General side for whatever reason. Not quite sure exactly what impact she's having outside of the fact that, again, there's stress associated with this person, and you would much rather just pull back and away and let this person just kind of go by the wayside, leave you alone, so you don't have to deal with them this week. There are things that you may have learned as well. Outside of the Queen of Swords being someone who's irritating you, this could be something that you've learned and you're keeping it to yourself for the time being. But whatever that knowledge is, you're anxious about having this knowledge. So we'll get some clarification cards and see what's going on there. On the love side, we have the Fairy Stallion, otherwise a Chariot, with the Star and the Hierophant. And I like this because it seems promising. You have hope coming through with that star here, and you feel as though direction in your love life is moving in a very, very positive direction. And that's whether you're single or coupled. So if you're single, I get the impression that someone's potentially coming into the circle that gives you some optimism that, hey, this could be a potential. I could see something here. Now, that connection could be moving quite fast with the Chariot, but you might like that because the star is associated with it. So you might like how fast and consistent things are moving along. Hierophant, for those that are single, I feel that you see someone as something long-term, someone that you may more than want to commit to. You may value what their background is. That may be a strong connection as well for some. For others, if you're in a relationship, it's still, I think, very similar. This kind of solidifies that commitment. You could be discussing marriage. If you're not married and you're interested in that, you could be discussing other things that will further align you guys into a commitment, whether it's moving in together, getting a pet together, something that's joint could be the case. Because at times I see the Chariot as two minds going in the same direction very quickly in agreement. There could be some rocky patches here and there because it is a Chariot and it moves chaotically for me, but it's definitely headed towards the same goal. And again, the star brings a lot of optimism where you see that this is what you want and you hope it continues along that path. All right, so let's get some clarification cards. Knight of Cups, please. Wish fulfillment, or just this could be a strong desire of yours is coming through. You're starting to realize what you want and you're expressing it as well. And there's a strong indication that you may be hearing something that connects with you emotionally and does make you happy. General side, please. Ace of Cups. Here we got emotions expanding again. Now, in this case, which is weird coming on this side. Maybe there is a new love interest, a new expression of emotions is coming through, something that fills you up entirely in the heart center and just makes you feel fantastic. But the general still is telling me that for whatever reason, this is being kept under wraps. Maybe you're worried about how someone may react to it. Maybe you're worried about some other aspect of this. Let's see, why is the Nine of Swords here? It appears as though you're worried about maybe someone's reaction. Now, that is a fire energy, the Queen of Swords, sorry, the Queen of Rods. So that could even be worried about what you should do, what action you should take, because I see the Queen of Rods as someone who initiates, someone who gets out there and does something, but you got stress surrounding it. So your actions, or what actions you should take right now, are a, what do you call it, are like a stressor. Let's get one more for the Queen of Rods, please. Queen of Swords. Okay, so I think your relationship with another person has a great influence on what's going on, and you're concerned about their reaction to the situation for some reason. It's definitely the Queen of Swords. What can you tell me about the Queen of Swords? That's a good energy to have. Let me see one more for the Queen of Swords, please. I mean, this Queen of Swords has like this happy, exciting, dynamic energy around her. Now, that could represent, because I felt a certain way about this other person and their impact on you, that this Queen of Swords has intensity. They could have a temper. They could be like someone who just blows up. I hate to see those cards that way, but I think because you have so many, the Nine of Swords there, you're concerned about their reaction, that could be what it's saying. And it could be that there is a circumstance here that you're excited about, but you don't know if they're going to be excited for you. And they're a big influence. Queen of Pentacles wanted to turn over as well. Could be another female influence that's in the picture. But let's look at the Hermit. There's our Knight of Cups. I think you're thinking about telling someone something that's emotional. Expression of feelings. You could be thinking about what someone has said to you. And it changed things. It changed circumstances with the world. And that could be you looking towards changing something as well. Giving some sort of conclusion to a situation that's more than likely for the better, the best possible conclusion from your perspective. And let's get one for the Ace of Cups. Interesting. The Ace of Cups is showing as an offer you're not 100% sure you feel that you want at this time, or you could be resisting it. And we have cards of resistance with the Nine of Swords and the Hermit, because the Hermit, you give them something like, let me just think about it. Like, back up, let me think about it for a bit. Nine of Swords is like, whoa, calm down, hold on. I gotta also just think about what's going on. And so with the Queen of Swords. But I do get that whatever this is, there is happiness there, just resistance at the same time. All right, let's take a look at love. Ooh, Three of Cups, celebrations, having fun. You could be meeting a partner's friends, going out with them for drinks, having a good time, dancing. You know, definitely getting to know them further, especially if you're coming off from being recently single and this is a fresh interaction. If you're in a relationship, there's something here that you're celebrating, engagements, as I've already said, or doing something together as a couple that further solidifies your relationship. Two of Cups, celebrating a connection. Feeling definitely like you're really connected with someone emotionally here, and it's mutual feeling. Five of Swords, go away. So Five of Swords, I think, is kind of coming from that hidden energy from the general side. Five of Swords, what did you insist on coming out? I didn't even call out a card, so I don't want to see this as a negative. I kind of like, you could be trying to keep at bay some strong sexual connection and attraction you also have to someone, and it's appearing as strong. It's the Hierophant. Eight of Cups. One more. Well, this person is disconnecting from a long-term emotional contract to this person. Like, here's someone who's looking at this person that's leaving a situation. So some of you could be deciding to commit to someone and it's been a long time coming. Maybe all these cups had to do with your own baggage that you were so attached to that you weren't ready to fully commit to another person. Now, others, how else do I see it? What else do I feel? That's the dominant thing that I feel. I almost never see the Eight of Cups as a positive, but I feel it's the case here. And in a way, it feels like leaving how you were. Not that you lost a part of yourself or anything like that, or you're changing for someone, but that you yourself just graduated as a person. And there were things that were a part of you that you feel that you just don't want there anymore. And so I see you kind of like taking control and interested in pursuing something further. And not letting anything from the past keep that away from you. So let's get one for the Chariot and one for the Star. Seven of Swords. There is something here that I don't like because the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords did show up. You could find yourself sneaking away with this person. For some reason, why you need to sneak away, I don't quite know, but that is coming across with that Seven of Swords. And there's a secrecy card. So there's something about this connection that could be a secret for the time being or something you don't fully know, but you want to know this person further. They may feel like a mystery to you, or they may say that about you. We do have the Eight of Wands, the Star, which is very nice. And okay, one more. I feel like you like how quickly things are moving. There's definitely, again, that connection coming through. Lots of words being said, like from AM to PM, you guys are chatting. Now, there's a possibility for some that this is a connection that needs to be kept in the wraps for whatever reason. There's something painful about it, that maybe they're at a distance. Maybe they're far to reach, and talking as consistent as it is, it's still something to overcome because you don't get to see them as often as you like. And this guy is someone who more than likely has his emotions well under control. You could also maybe know something about this person that puts you on edge or just makes you a little cautious. Maybe you've been told they're a bit of a heartbreaker, or they have been in the past. Something like that. They could have some like demons, or you have your own demons that are just kind of coming to the surface and maybe you're talking about it. All right, so I'm gonna leave, actually, you know what, I can't. Let me get one more card for the love. Three of Wands. You're seeing where this is going. You're not like worrying too much about any negatives that come through, like in those swords energy. You want to see and continue forward and continue to maintain the positivity. See how this thing develops as time goes on. Not necessarily like put all your energy into it so that if something bad happens, you're devastated. But this is looking towards the future and the bigger picture and hoping that this connection turns into something more long-term for you. And if you already find that you're long-term, you want to just continue to build on it further. Like there's a child in this picture.